What's going on, y'all? It's your boy Mike here with another quick school update. So sorry I've been kind of like MIA. I'm trying to figure out different things to talk about, and I don't want to just sit here and just ramble on about a whole lot of nothing. I want to give you guys some quality updates. Whether it's about exercise, whether it's about school, whether it's about work. I want to make sure that whatever I'm presenting to you guys actually makes sense and is actually worth it. So that's why I've been presenting more about the school stuff, because that's been my really big focus as of late. Just because I have 11 weeks left, which is crazy to think about. So school has been my top priority. No, it's always my top priority, but school is my top priority right now. Granted, I'm still working, and that's obviously a pretty big priority. The different things I'm thinking about in regards to work, and then I'm still hitting the gym. I've actually changed up my routine a little bit, and in the gym, I'll actually probably record a video about why I'm changing things up in the gym a little bit. I'll probably make that video, so that could be helpful. But with school, so we have, looking at the syllabus. I think I told y'all this last week, is that we had to pick a day to present, and the semester's 12 weeks long, and I was like, okay, cool. I'll be done in 12 weeks. Da 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 da. Looking at the syllabus, as of last week, we present in 9 weeks. Like, oh, okay, a little less time than I thought we had. Let's get some work done. So, thankfully, the first chapter was pretty much stuff that we had to do for our practicum prep class. So, we pretty much already wrote the first chapter, so that was a big weight off my shoulders. So, I think I turned that junk in like Wednesday. I just had to put in the format as she wanted. So, turned in the format that she wanted. She sent back some basic revisions that she wanted me to do. Got the revisions back. Did it. Turned it back in. I think she sent the email like last night or this morning. It was super early. So got the revisions, and I'm working on chapter 2. So I'm already on chapter 2. And chapter 1 actually wasn't due until this coming Sunday. So I'm a little bit ahead of the game, which is perfect, just where I wanted to be. So right now I'm working on chapter 2. And chapter 2 has to be a total of 10 to 12 pages. A lot of writing. However, the good thing about it is that we actually did the first 5 pages already for our pre-practicum class. So I'm like, all right, dope. So instead of having to write 10 to 12 pages, your boy only has to write 5 to 7 pages, which is a big relief. My 5 to 7 pages, I can do that. Another big relief is, again, mind you, this I already have most of this work done, because it's coming from my community health class. So I do have to do some slight edits, and based off of what the requirements are that she wants, it has to be no less than 10 pages, no more than 12 pages, unless she gives us permission to write more than 12 pages. Hopefully I ain't gotta write more than 12 pages. But pretty much every sentence, it has to be at least 3 sources per paragraph. And she said pretty much almost every sentence is probably gonna have a source. So it's gonna be a lot of sourcing, a lot of writing, stuff like that. So I have the information pretty much for the different headings that she wants already. Just have a copy from my community health class, paste it into there, edit the way that she wants to, add a little more information, add a little more sources, things like that. And my goal is, because I can be a pretty fast writer sometimes. The hardest thing for me is actually just to get started, pretty much. So I'm already starting. I have all my headings copied and pasted onto the Word document that she wants. Just have to go into my community health class, get copy and paste those paragraphs into this, and make sure that the first sentence of each paragraph has a source, and the last sentence of every paragraph has a source. And then if I need more sources throughout the paper, I can definitely add some more sources. But it has to be, she said, at least a minimum of 3 sources. We have to have a minimum of 10 sources total. So got some stuff to do, got some stuff to write. And she also wants us to send a copy of the PDFs that we're using for all our sources, for validation, all that stuff. So I'm like, okay, cool. So I have some work to do. It's going to be a lot easier than perceived, because I have so much of the work done already. I just have to do a lot of editing, formatting, things of that nature, adding more information, pretty much just making it, a little more voluminous, if you will, a little more, a little more substance, if you will. Just make sure that it's fitting the requirements that my teacher wants. Because again, each teacher has different requirements, for the papers, whether they want to know this format or that format or this length, all these different things. So since I already have the skeleton of it, I already have a lot of the meat of it, just have to edit the meat the way that she wants it to be. So I can make this a whole lot easier. Because I don't know about y'all, but your boy can be a little lazy. So if I can maximize different things as much as I can, I'm going to maximize as many things as I possibly can. And since I already have most of the work done, I'm just going to use what I got. So that is my current game plan right now. Another thing I'm working on is, I think I told you guys previously that there are 2 honor societies I was trying to get in. One was called Pi Kappa Pi, and one was called Alpha Eta. The Pi Kappa Pi, I know as of right now I have not gotten an invitation for that yet, so I'm assuming I'm out of the running, but it's all good. Things happen. Wish I would have known earlier. Life happens. It's all good. For Alpha Eta, I have to I'm gonna go ahead and send my last teacher an email, because again it was like one extra one I was waiting on. I had all the required ones, but I was gonna try to get some extra ones, just kind of like boost it up a little bit, make your boy look good. So I'm going to go ahead and send that teacher an email. I'm like, hey, hope you had a great semester previously. I'm currently working on my Alpha Ed application. Would you mind go ahead and sending me that letter that you're working on previously? And granted, it's not due until June, but I can do that now. Go ahead and get it sent in. Then I'm kind of like first on the stack. I'm hoping that kind of like helps out. Even though it's not due until June, but if I can get it done a little bit earlier, then I'll try to get it done a little bit earlier. Plus, the longer I wait, the more work I have to do for this paper. And your boy presents in June. So I'm like, hey, I ain't got that much time in June. I gotta get this stuff knocked out, pretty fast, because it's some hefty stuff that I got, coming up that. So I'm gonna go ahead and send my teacher an email about that. See if she can go ahead and work on that, or at least send it to me. I'm not sure if she started working on it or what the process is for her, but I'm asking if she can go ahead and get that sent to your boy. So hopefully, boy can get into an honor society, because that'd be pretty dope. Your boy's GPA is already sitting kind of pretty. I'm sitting at 3.93, but if I can get into an honor society for this, that'd be pretty top. So that's another thing I'm working on. Gonna try to get that taken care of. Interesting thing about school. I think I told you guys previously that I was thinking about doing a certification after I graduated with school. So there's what's called Lean. There's also called there's Six Sigma and there's Lean Six Sigma. So it's just like process improvement ideals and things like that you can use for business. So I was looking into that, talking to one of the big bosses at my job. So not my boss, not her boss, not his boss, his boss. So I was trying to go up, because he's actually was teaching us for our leadership offsite a couple months ago. So talking very briefly back and forth, and then we're talking about Lean Six Sigma and looking into that, because I think that's something that he's been interested in. So he's like, yeah, if you find out any more information, let me know. We can collab a little bit. We try to get a consultant in to kind of see what's working, so on and so forth. I'm like, cool. So I was in a leadership chat last week with some of the other managers. And we just kind of chit chatting a little bit and talking about what's after school. I was like, yeah, I'm looking into this, and they're like, oh, what's that? So I kind of mentioned to them and like what the premise of it is, and they're like, oh, this sounds pretty cool. So right from that brief conversation, there's at least 4 other managers that are interested in this. So I was like, cool. So I went ahead and sent my big boss a message. I was like, hey, hope you had a great weekend, so on and so forth. I was in a chat last week, and then I know there's at least 4 other managers that are interested in this. Depending on what's going on, I know of at least 4 other people that are interested in this. there's a link that I saw off of Instagram, which is like, okay, that was talking about this particular school that has the program. So if you wanted to look into this, it was this school. Da da da. He's like, okay, cool. Do you have a link for it? I'm like, yeah. Let me go ahead and find a link. I typed in the address, found a link. No, specifically for because it said Lean Six Sigma Green Belt for healthcare leaders. I'm like, okay, cool. And the levels go white, yellow, green, black, master black. So green's like right in the middle. And they say that if you have like management experience, you technically don't need white or yellow. You can kind of just like skip straight to green. Hey, save a couple bucks. Perfect. Scroll down a little bit. I'm looking at the price, looking at time. I think it's like a 7-week course and like $3K. So it's a pretty hefty lift. But you go straight to the green belt. I'm like, okay, cool. Scrolling down a little bit more, just a little bit more, and it said, "Want to get your organization?" No, whatever. I'm like, oh, so they have a link for organizations, not just for individual. So I sent both of them the links. I was like, hey, this is the link that I saw originally. Da 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 da. And I was like, I scrolled down a little bit more, looking at the registration and everything like that. I found this link also for the organization because sometimes if order more, they can kind of give like a little discount, so on and so forth. So I'm like, hey, if we can get a discount, let's get a discount because hey, things ain't cheap. So I sent both of those to him. We'll see what he says when he says it. But I was like, hey, that's pretty cool. So that is what I'm probably going to do for my next venture for a fancy piece of paper is to go get my my Lean Six Sigma green belt. And then potentially what we'll see what happens. I may go for black, I may go for master black. We'll see what happens. But so I'm going to be working on that. Probably depending on what he says. I may do it with the company, may do it solo. We'll see what happens. But I'll be working on that. Also, something I've been thinking about is what's going on with work. After graduation, I haven't been thinking about it as much. But I'm like, what? We'll kind of again, keep my eyes open, keep my ears open, see what's going on. However, I was watching a couple webinars the other day, and I was like, you know what? The boy may start looking for a different place. I may start looking for a townhouse or a condo. My apartment is dope. I like my apartment. It's comfortable. It has some good space. It's my place. I'm like, yo, this is comfortable. However, it'll be pretty cool to, take that next step into home ownership, I think. So I've been briefly thinking about that, thinking about what that would look like. However, I can't really make moves with that until I know the job situation. Now, I like both my jobs. Both my jobs are dope. Like yesterday with therapy, one patients we were dancing on ballet because they used to be a ballet dancer like when they're younger age, and they're struggling like standing. Recently, they're like, hey, let's listen to some ballet. Kind of get back in the mood. Because therapy can be fun. Therapy is boring because people make it boring. So I'm like, I sit there dancing with my patients and they're laughing, joking, kiki, hollering, all that fun stuff with my patients. Because again, like no one wants to be in a hospital. Hospital stinks. No one wants to be in a hospital. So I can make your day lighter. That makes your recovery better. That makes you get out easier. It makes you get out faster. And who doesn't want to get out of the hospital faster? The patients and the employees want to get out of the hospital faster. So hey, if I can make your day easier, then make your day easier. So, but I like both my jobs. I enjoy patient care. If I didn't enjoy patient care, I wouldn't be doing it for 17 years. I enjoy patient care. I enjoy my management job. Not everything about it, because there are some difficult conversations you have to have. Like tomorrow, I actually have to have a conversation with one of my coaches because we had a merit conversation. And they're like, I'm curious why my rank was so low. So I'm like, so I have to tell them, why I gave them the raise that I gave them, so on and so forth. So that should be an interesting conversation. We'll see how that goes. And I haven't gotten any information about my merit increase. I'm assuming my boss may go over that on Wednesday. That's what I'm assuming. We'll see what happens. Cause I have a one-on-one with my boss every week. So I'm assuming on Wednesday my boss will go over that. We'll see what happens. But that'd be pretty dope. And plus, like the pay is retroactive starting today. So on our next paycheck, we'll see the actual change. But the valuation starts start today. So maybe if I go on to like my ADP and everything like that, maybe see what it is if it's changed. Who knows? I don't know. It may, so I may take a peek, see if it's adjusted on there. We'll see what happens. So that's pretty much what's been going on with your boy. Your boy's been thinking a lot, trying to make some moves. I'm pretty much a week ahead of the game. Technically, I'm actually even more than a week ahead of the game. I already got my paper written. I just got to do some editing, formatting, add some sources, on the top. Knock this mother sucker out. It's gonna be dope. I'm looking forward to being done. I'm in week 2 of 12. Technically, week 2 of 9. Crazy to think about, boy. So yeah, week 2 of 9, week 2 of 12. Depends on how you want to look at it. That's where your boy is at. So things are looking good. Things are looking up. I'm ready to be done. But hey, it's coming soon. But again, I always say, if there's any questions, comments, concerns you guys have about what it's like to be a doctoral student, management, if I recommend this degree, should I look for a different degree, all these different things, PhD versus DHSC. If there's any questions, comments, concerns you guys got about that, drop it in the comments. I love to chat with you guys. But until next time, later.